So I have a book flip for you, and I was asked by the company Like Create Love to do a flip of one of their books that they sent to me. I did not purchase, just for full transparency there. And it is this book here, Coloring for Adults, Abstract Flowers, 50 Delightful Flowers, the Perfect Way to Release Your Creativity. Now, this is the third book she has released, and the first two are mandalas. And from what I saw, one book is harder than the other one, or more intricate instead of harder. And they look very pretty, but I was a little more interested in the flower one. So it is done by a Lily St. Clair's, and she sells her books on Amazon. And as you can see, it is a little bit smaller of a book, if you could tell by my hand size. It's not super, it's not pocket size, but it's, a little smaller, which is fine. And a little bit about the person, which I think I'll start flipping while I talk. So we have by Lily St. Clair. It is printed on Amazon paper, which I don't have a problem with. And it belongs to page. And this is kind of a cute idea. It's got a started this book and a finished this book line, which I don't think I have seen that in any book before. And it's a flower design. And that's what every page is going to be. And I kind of like it as far as, I think it's a really great way to practice flowers and just have this really kind of close up view of a flower, and it's just one giant space of just the flower. And you could really get in there and work on practicing a lot of shading and as much detail as you want to, honestly. And you will notice the back is black to help with any bleed through, but like with most everything, blotter pages are still recommended. You're going to have some thinner line art. This is cute. We get the cute little flying feller up here. I really like this flower, actually. And then we have some darker, heavier, or thicker line art. I know it varies with people which lines they prefer, but this book gives you a mix of both. As you see, we go from the thick and heavy to a little bit thinner and lighter. I think it's, again, a great book to practice your shading and any details to just one single flower that you might want to work on. And it's going to use your pencils, and again, it'll be great for your markers. It's got the black background. And so a little bit about Lily St. Clair. She's a newer artist working with the company Like Create Love. She's actually from Yorkshire, England. And she draws her inspiration from nature, the things that surrounds her in her town. She's been an artist all of her life, but she's always enjoyed coloring. And after being, well, stuck in the same situation as pretty much everybody else this past year with the global pandemic, she decided to seek a more artistic direction in her life and finally start sharing her images with the world. So she's been putting out these coloring books. She likes to start her books relatively with easy pictures to color and then ease into more challenging images as the books progress. And I think you see that a lot with the mandalas particularly. And all of her books are designed to promote mental well-being, and there is a mixture of designs that can suit most moods. You can see we've gotten into a lot smaller pattern. She occasionally hides animals in her designs, so they suggest to keep your eye out for things like a hare or ladybugs, etc. In the mandalas, she also designs faces that change as they move around the mandala, which is quite interesting to color because you can start up toward the top and a face be happy and work around and end up at the bottom and it would be a sad face. She's working on getting 2 other books put out, which will be, what was it? One is going to be based on abstract patterns, and another one she wants to do is going to be on geometric patterns. Like I said, it is Amazon paper, but it's very workable. And she's hoping that if she can generate enough interest in her books, that she would like to upgrade her coloring books to a ring-bound artist edition type publication. And she's also working on setting up downloadable images. I like this with the flower pots also on. Again, it's obviously more than one flower, so there's a lot more going on in this picture, which this is a more of a picture of what I would enjoy coloring. But yeah, so she does get enough interest. She does want to continue just to keep upgrading and putting it out there. And this is like some elephants going on around here. And I don't know for sure if her little hidden critters are in this book or just strictly the mandalas, and I haven't went hunting through the book for any yet, so we'll have to see what I end up finding. I like this has got the barbed wire happening around here. I think those are maybe totem poles. Are they still totem poles when they have wings? Can a totem pole have wings? I'm not sure. Kind of looks like they got feet too. Huh. I might be wrong. Not sure. Is that what that's called? Let me know in the comments. Not sure. I know that sometimes we need to take a break from some of the full-on scenes that we enjoy coloring or portraits that we color. And I know a lot of people do enjoy mandalas and a pattern type of a thing going on. And some people like it as a break from coloring other things, something that you're able to kind of relax with more and you know, sit back on the couch with maybe a pack of markers and just go to town. Just relax and enjoy it. I think a lot of her, in this book at least, is what, because this is what I have seen the most of. I've seen some of the pages in 2 of the other books, but not the complete book or anything. But from this book, you know, it seems like, you know, there's just, it's a little different than similar books with her pattern and her design, which is a good thing. I know a lot of people get overwhelmed with a full scene going on and all kinds of details, and then everybody, you know, there's people that start worrying, you know, well, what colors should I pick, and what should I be shading, and I think coloring something like this frees you up from some of that, and at the same time, again, like I said earlier, can allow you to focus on practicing some of that. When you just have the one flower to focus on. And I think, you know, these aren't pictures that are going to take forever to do. So you're able to, depending on how much shading and extra detail that you choose to put in them, you are going to be able to, you know, for some of these, even accomplish a complete picture in one sitting within a reasonable amount of time, allowing you to, you know, just feel accomplished with something immediately. Sometimes we spend a lot more than one sitting on a picture, and that can be satisfying too. I know a lot of people love working with just markers and gel pens, and like when I see this, I automatically think gel pens. Maybe in combo with some colored pencil, but I just see an opportunity to utilize a lot of gel pen. And this, even with the thicker lines, I think here's an opportunity to really get in on your shading, where, you know, this is one whole flower, but each section where there's that overlap, you know, you want to put the darker shading area, and once you have that all the way around, that alone is going to make it look super detailed. I have a lot of things that I could keep practicing, but I know that shading is one thing that I see asked about quite often. And this just has such great potential to help, you know, like this one here, you can tell where, you know, this petal and this petal seem to overlap this one right here. So you'd want to get some shading going on there. And I can just, in my mind, see how that's going to look with all the shading done all the way around. And then, of course, with it laying on top of the leaves. I like how it's just not the standard mandala. If the flower is even, does this count just because it's rounded? Does it count as a mandala? Or is it the patterning of a mandala that makes it a mandala? What makes a mandala a mandala? Because to me, this is like, okay, I totally see the flower, but that's a mandala too, right? Isn't that count? Isn't that how that works? Like I said, her name is Lily St. Clair over in England. This is really cute. Almost makes me think of those, what are they called? They're purple, I think maybe a cone flower, I think is what those are called. I like that. Then we go into another thicker line. I like that you have these options depending on what kind of line art you prefer. I know some people don't care either way. Color, whatever, anything, doesn't matter as long as they like the picture, which that's kind of how I am. I mean, I guess on average, I like a thinner line. But if it's an artist I really like and an image that I really like, but it happens to have heavier lines, then I'm completely fine with that. You can also find, see, this is another very intricate one. You can also find her on Instagram. I think it's going to be, well, I'm not sure how long, but she's working on setting up to have PDFs so that you can download and print any of her images off on your own preferred paper. That's really pretty. Stuff like this also makes me think of how fun it is to color this type of a thing because of being able to get, well, I mean, I don't want, it's not like you can't with other pictures, but like, I just think it's funner on this type of stuff to, you get wild with the colors you use. And this one, let's see, I'm not very good with flowers, but just like the shape of what's happening here, even though it's like a zoomed in, I feel like I recognize this flower, but I couldn't tell you the name of it at all. But it seems familiar to me. I don't know, I guess the abstractness, I see things that may or may not actually be there. I kind of get like almost like a moth wing type feel on these little images going around the flower. Maybe they're a part of the flower and I just don't know it. And we have a closing page where she really wants to thank you for purchasing her third book. She says, it was such a pleasure to spend the winter studying beautiful flowers to make this. I get so much joy from making these images for you, and I just hope you are enjoying the relaxing process of coloring them as well. In my next coloring book, I'm going to let it all out with some wonderful swirling patterns for you. By now, pretty patterns will be available online, so grab yourself a copy. Thank you again, and lots of love, Lily St. Clair. Like, create, love. Copyright 2021. A couple sample pages. Test out. That's what the back looks like. So like I said, Coloring for Adults, Abstract Flowers, 50 Delightful Flowers. So there's this book. And again, there's other books to be checked out on Amazon, and they are super affordable. And so this newer artist is just trying to make it in the coloring book world. So you'll have to go check her out. Get you one of these books or one of her other books or all of her books. And thank you all for watching. You can give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment. And until next time, later y'all.